Hello and welcome to the Institute of Christian and Masonic Studies. Of course, I am Reverend Leroy Stewart Sr., President and founder, actually. And as usual, joining me on the other side of the camera is my son, Leroy Stewart Jr., 33rd degree Sovereign Grand Inspectors General, Knights Templar, and CEO of the Institution of Christian and Masonic Studies. Now today, I'm going to be addressing the Masonic wing of the Institute. The Masonic wing, W-I-N-G. Our last video, of course, was for the Christian wing. Now this little something for the Masons, if you will. Loosely translated, what am I saying? Put your sunglasses on, brothers. Here come the light. So having said all that, and welcome you aboard, let's go right into it. I'm on a lecture today. It will be controversial. It will be confrontational. And in order to get it done, accomplish what I wish to do, which is to get this light to you, we're going to need a common platform. We're going to need a common denominator from which to work. We're going to have something that you and I agree on to start this lecture. Because I guarantee you some of the things I say during this lecture, it's going to be confrontational and controversial. So at least let's start out together. Now, how do we do that? We're going to do it by me making this qualification. This lecture is targeted, this lecture is directed to every Mason who took their Masonic obligation on the Holy Bible, who kissed the Holy Bible. Like I told you, it's going to be confrontational and controversial. Well, that's the first part of it. But if you'll notice, it gives us a common platform. So what am I saying is this. If you took your Masonic obligation on another book other than the Bible, I would suggest you don't want to hear this. You may as well go and catch a baseball game. Or better still, go and check out that Mayweather fight or something like that. I wouldn't want to waste your time. So having said that, this lecture is geared for Masons all over the world. And we thank God this afternoon, the Institute of Christian and Masonic Studies, as we grow, we are touching Masons around the world. Israel, China, South America, England, Europe, if you will, and of course the good old US of A. And so the Masons in those places who took their obligation on the Holy Bible, who kissed the Holy Bible in every degree that they took. I'm speaking to you fellows. All right, now also, you're going to see me have to go to the cell phone here. I'm not a fan of cell phones at all, but I have notes on here for this lecture that I may have to peep at every now and then, so I don't want you to think I'm rude or anything. I just don't have more pen and paper this afternoon, so I want you to bear with me now. So the topic of our lecture today is Nimrod, the very first and uncontested, undisputed Grand Master of Masons on this planet Earth. Again, our topic today is Nimrod, the first Grand Master of Masons on this earth. All right, now, let's get busy. Let's start with the definition of masonry. We know what you probably read, we know what you probably heard, etc., etc. But I'm going to tell you what the definition of masonry is as the angels of God gave it to the first mason, Seth, S-E-T-H. The definition that those angels gave Seth when they made him a mason was this: Masonry is the science of God, man, and the universe. I say again, Masonry is the science of God, man, and the universe. A Mason is a man who is learned, L-E-A-R-N-E-D, learned in that science of God, man, and the universe. He is learned in that science, and he is skilled, S-K-I-L-L-E-D, in the science of God, man, and the universe. And you do well to take that definition and ponder it, as it was given by God's angels to the first Mason, Seth. Masonry is the science of God, man, and the universe. Now, having told you that, let's get busy. Nimrod, what's the problem? The brothers, our Caucasian brothers, do not dispute the fact that, number one, Nimrod was a black man, B-L-A-C-K-M-A-N. Their greatest writers, the one that's accepted by them, they do not dispute this. For reference matters, I would ask if you would just take a little time and look into the writings of Brother Albert G. Mackey. In fact, he did a book, A History of Freemasonry, in which he did a brilliant article, in my opinion, on Nimrod and the Tower of Babel. He pulled no punches. He states clearly what I said. Nimrod was the first undisputed Grand Master of Masons on this earth. Now, the instructive tongue gives it to the attentive ear and is placed in the repository of the faithful heart. I am going to be in the role of the instructive tongue from this point forward. You, those of you who are viewing, those of you who have kissed the Bible, you're going to be the attentive ear. And when I finish this lecture, you're going to take this information and place it in the repository of a faithful heart. And guess what? You are not, before you pass this information to anybody, you will stand to your obligation of the first degree, meaning that you would have your throat cut from ear to ear, your tongue plucked out, buried in the sea, where the tide flows every 24 hours, ebbs and flows every 24 hours, before you violate your Masonic obligation of the first degree, which is secrecy. Isn't that amazing? Well, how many kinds of masonry are there? Two. There's operative and spiritual. Oh man, what that got you there? That I'm going to say speculative, didn't it? Physical and spiritual. Let's go a little deeper with this. The first Mason, as I mentioned, on this earth was Seth, S-E-T-H. He was entered, passed, and raised by 9 archangels. I have the name of those angels for later access to you through my son and CEO, Leroy Stewart Sr. We can make that information available to you. But he was entered, passed, and raised by 7 to 9 archangels. He was given that definition of Masonry, which I gave you a moment ago, the science of God, man, and the universe. But we got to go back a little further. We got to go back and understand what happened in the Garden of Eden. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is why I said we need a common denominator. I don't want to get contacting my institute talking no crazy stuff about the Garden of Eden wasn't real, it was a myth and all that. That's what the Bible said. The book you kissed, the book you obligated on. Now, that's our spiritual testimony. See, I love y'all, and I'm glad, so glad now that we are starting to finally get some black Masonic writers, but you got a problem. You're taking your obligations on the Bible, you're kissing the Bible, but guess what you do? You're jumping right up, soon as that meeting's over, and you want to go out and read the Tiberian Book of the Dead. Oh boy, here's a big one. You want to read the Egyptian Book of the Dead. You want to pre-use the Bhagavad Gita, and then you want to dabble a little bit with Zoroaster. But guess what? You need to read the Bible. R and B, ritual and Bible, they go hand in hand. Go back and do that and see what you get. Nevertheless, I'm talking to the brothers that kissed the Bible and took their obligations on the Holy Bible. Adam and Eve. Adam was not, N-O-T, Adam was not a Mason. There was no reason for Adam to be a Mason. The Holy Bible teaches us that Adam walked and talked with God every day. What did he need to be a Mason for? He didn't lose nothing yet. When Adam disobeyed God, incidentally, that is the theme of the entire Holy Bible. Obedience and disobedience. Actually, it comes down to the disobedience of Adam and the obedience of Jesus Christ. And another thing, if you like coincidences, so, if you will, Adam disobeyed God in a garden, and Jesus obeyed God in a garden. Isn't that interesting? All right, now let's go a little further with this. Adam walked and talked with God. There was no reason for Adam to be a Mason. There was no such thing. Now, you know the story. Those of you who read the Bible, I mean, who went every race, every tribe, every language, every people on earth know the story of Adam and Eve. They may use different names, but they know the story. And then even our esteemed critics, if you will, have to admit, anthropologists, etc., we have to admit when we look at man, something is wrong with man. In the year 2015, something is wrong with man. As Masons, we're taught what is wrong. Adam and God were once one. God told Adam not to eat off a certain tree. You know the story, through stubble tree, whatnot, whatever, to see the misdirection. Long story short, he wound up eating off that tree. But God told him, the day you eat off that tree, that's the day you die. Well, for whatever reasons, he was persuaded to eat off that tree. You gotta understand, when Adam walked and talked with God, when he was created, Adam was a spiritual, S-P-I-R-I-T, being, just like God. He was created and existed in Jarkane, the spiritual world. Just like God right now, just like his angels right now. The minute Adam bit that fruit, God told him, the day you bite off of it, you're going to die. The minute he bit it, Adam's eyes closed to the spiritual world. It closed to the world of Jarkane. And it opened to the physical world, the world of Boaz. The world you live in today. And he was in a very identical body that you see me in right now. He was trapped. And the most important thing, that cable tow that had bound Adam and God together, the minute he disobeyed God and ate that fruit, the cable tow snapped. The connecting link with God and man was broken. Adam could no longer walk with God. Adam could no longer talk with God. Adam could no longer communicate with God. Adam couldn't even comprehend God. And make sure this is what Adam lost. I got any 32nd degree Masons out there, fog code. Fog code. This is what you're talking about. I got any Master Masons out there that's traveling back to the east in search of what? That which was lost. This is what I'm talking about. What Adam lost. It doesn't matter if Adam did a banana, a cherry, or orange, an apple, a grape nut, or a coconut. It doesn't matter. The point was God said, don't do a thing. And I know you heard this phrase before, of his own free will and accord. He did it anyway. So Adam went from being an obedient son to a disobedient. So Adam's disobedience separated God from man. That's in the book. It's in the book you kissed. You know the story from there. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm moving as fast as I can with this because we have a lot to cover. Adam was kicked out the Garden of Eden. Now I can't sugarcoat that. He wasn't asked to leave. Adam was kicked out. Cherubim, who is the highest classification of spiritual being in the whole host of heaven. Angels being the lowest, archangels the next one, and on and up until we get to the seraphims with an S. Right under that is a cherubim. Incidentally, Lucifer was in that second class of highest spiritual being. He was the covering cherub that anointed. You can roger that in Ezekiel chapter 28. Yeah, you can. That's just a little information. So I told you, put your sunglasses on because it comes to light. Didn't I tell you that? So you got 1, 2 of you brothers sitting up there going blind already, and I ain't even got into nothing yet. The instructor told just giving it to the attentive ear so y'all can put it in the repository. I said, put it in the repository of the faithful heart. Let's go on. When Adam was expelled from the garden, he and his wife, unable to even comprehend the spiritual world, reaching for it and can't find it. But they can feel dirt now. They can feel the temperature now. They know hunger now. They unfortunately know pain now. And most of all, death is now a player. Everybody got that? It was a bad thing Adam did, y'all. Very bad when he disobeyed God. And that cable tow was broken. So Adam was placed out of that. The final scenario that hurt more than anything to Adam, even more than death, was the fact that he could no longer talk to God. Have I got that? You know what happened from that point there. Adam and Eve made it as God had commanded. They still multiplied and had families. They had sons and daughters. I know everybody's familiar with the two most famous ones, first two, Cain and Abel. Everybody know Cain wound up killing his brother Abel, and that's another lecture that I get into probably in the Christian wing, so you might have to catch me over there when I talk about Cain and Abel from the ministerial side, okay? Cain kills Abel, and long story short, nobody can talk to God anymore. Zero. No Facebook, no Instagram, no Telegram, no telephone. There's no way to talk to God or communicate with angels. And incidentally, that's when magic started coming in right there, when men started trying to contact the spiritual realm using physical paraphernalia. Isn't that interesting? And we're going to get deeper into how that worked too. Rock along. Cain kills Abel, and Adam and Eve, growing old now. At first they were going to live forever, eternal life. But now they're destined to die like every man and woman in this world is destined to do. Death is guaranteed in birth. Now, but nobody can talk to God. So from Adam on down, everybody in their heart know there's got to be a creator. As they say in Star Trek, that first movie, V'ger seeks the creator. Don't let nobody fool you. They may say they don't believe in God or whatever it is, but I'm going to tell you something. There's no way you can get up and look at the wind or watch a storm or look at a spider, make a web, or contemplate the fact that your heart beat, that you think. And if you're foolish enough to think that just happened, why don't you go talk to Einstein, Copernicus, Mr. Isaac Newton, and several, Mr. George Washington Carver, men who through nature know there's a God. Okay? The problem is, how do we contact it? Now that brings in what? Religion and philosophy. Don't talk about religion too much now. I got a collar on my way, and I'm also a preacher. So at any rate, that's what those avenues, and magic, that's what those avenues are for, how to contact God, okay? Now, problem is, can nobody get to him? And he wasn't talking to us. The Bible gives us an indication of what it wants us to know, usually real quick, in just a few small lines. The men God allowed to be Masons, we got the whole story. That's why the instructor Tom gives it to the attentive ear and put it in the paper press. The Bible says clearly that when Seth was born, one little line, then men began to call upon the name of the Lord. Seth was made a Mason. Did you know y'all supposed to know how to talk to God? Amen. The information that these angels began to teach Seth, once he was entered, passed, and raised from a dead level to a living degree, to a living perpendicular on the square, is what you call today Freemasonry. It is the science of God, man, and the universe. Now the big point is, from Adam's disobedience and expulsion from the garden up to the birth and of course adulthood of Seth, S-E-T-H, no human being in the world talked to God. There was no communication up and down. Boaz and Jacquin and Boaz, there was nothing. Nobody could talk to God. Seth was the first man/Mason. Not only could talk to God, but he was given God's name. Do I have any Royal Arch Masons out there? Do I have any Royal Arch Masons out there? It's the same name he gave Moses up on Mount Sinai. Y'all did read that, didn't you? It's the same name. At any rate, the information given Seth was the science of God, man, and the universe. Now let's rock along. We're coming to the Grandmaster now. Masons began to multiply because Seth was allowed to make Masons in a regular Master Mason lodge. And all the angels helped him at first until he was able to initiate 7 guys enough to make a Master Mason's lodge. Okay, I know it only takes 3, but obviously once he got to 7. The angels withdrew. He began to make lodges. Lodges began to be with the ark. But brothers, going to be a little disappointed because guess what? They didn't wear no chains. And Lord knows, if I was a younger man, boy, I swear I'd have me one of them leather jackets like I see some of you fellas wear with the emblems and stuff on it. My son, man, they got some of the prettiest shirts and things with Masonic emblems on them, man. But unfortunately, that ain't the way it was. Lodges, now I've seen some big, pretty Masonic lodge halls. In fact, I was in one last Saturday night. Up there in Capital City, Illinois, visiting. And boy, it's a beautiful Masonic temple. But did you know that ain't how I started? Masons used to meet on a high hill and a low dale. Another time, another place, I'll tell you why. But at any rate, yep, they didn't have the nice jewelry and all that stuff here, but they did wear a ring. All right. So, now we're having lodges beginning to multiply on earth from Seth in his induction by those angels. Here comes the situation. As Masonry began to grow, it was deemed by God that one man, and one man only, would fill a position which is called the Grand Mastership. Listen carefully what I'm going to say, because I want you to distinguish. Am I saying that Nimrod is the perpetual Grand Master of Masons? Hell no. The office, O-F-F-I-C-E, of Grand Master is perpetual. There has never been a time, never, ever been a time when that office of Grand Master did not exist. I know y'all know, along with that other madness that our brothers, our Caucasian brothers, come up with in 1717 when they invented the Grand Lodge. No such thing. Only the office of the Grand Master. Nimrod was blessed by God to be the first Mason to hold that office. If I got that? Let's go look further. Getting to Nimrod. Now, as Masons begin to carry on, this information again, Masonry, the science of God, man, and the universe, was passed along. Structure, tone, tentative, positive. But now, if you go with me to Genesis chapter 6, Genesis chapter 6, man was becoming so wicked, man was becoming so violent. Go read it, Genesis chapter 6. Did you know that God, actually, the word he used was repentant, meaning God said he hated in his heart that he had ever made man. It's in the book that you kissed. It's in the book that you took your obligations on. God decided he was going to destroy the whole world and start all over again. Get it? One of the things I think that helped tempt it was the angels in heaven. This is in chapter 6. Began, as man multiplied, they had sons and daughters. Certain angels began to look down and saw them daughters and men. And brother, some of them were dropped, dead, knocked out, gorgeous, because let's don't forget now, they're coming straight out of Mama Eve's matrix. You're damn right they was gorgeous. They were so good looking. They were so fine, we used to say, that even the angels said, I got to have that one. Sure enough. They transformed themselves into a physical body. I know that don't shock you, do you? You know, Satan transformed himself into the body of a snake. St. Paul is telling you in 1st and 2nd Corinthians that the world you live in right now, 2015, Satan already got his ministers his fallen angels up in your pulpit on Sunday morning teaching y'all a lie, calling it the gospel. Oh, that's right. I'm talking to Masons, aren't I? Excuse me for just a moment. I thought I was talking to the Christian way. But anyway, go read 1st and 2nd Corinthians to find out. Satan has that power. So those angels and his angels. That's why Paul said sometimes we have entertained angels and wasn't even aware of it. And I know y'all know when you entertain them devils. These angels came down and started sleeping with these women. And they started having babies. And these babies that they started having was half human, and of course they were half angel or spiritual. Half angels. I can't clear it up. Now, read the rest of chapter 6. It'll talk to you better. They became mighty men. Men of renown was the word. They became. Some people said they became the forerunners of the Philistines. You know, the Goliath men. I don't know about all that. But only thing wrong was, since Adam had disobeyed God, the spirit of man was no longer the spirit of God, it was the spirit of Seth. They were bad folks. And the violence, coupled with the mating of those angels with women, was taking place all over the world. God decided he was going to destroy the world and start all over again. Masons kept on going. Enoch. I know y'all like Enoch. Anybody read the book on Enoch yet? Well, that's right. Y'all too busy reading the ancient mysteries of Isis and Osiris and the ancient mystery of the Bacchus and all that kind of carrying on, ain't you? Oh boy. The vows, the mating of those angels and women was too much for God. But the Masons kept their vows. God told Enoch, because we read the Bible and a whole lot about it, like Seth, it simply says that Enoch walked with God. And he was no more. Enoch is one of only 2 people in the book you kiss, in the book you took obligation on, that didn't die of physical death. We catch him later in the book of Revelation, another lecture. But God told Enoch, I'm gonna wipe this world out and start over. What he didn't do, he didn't tell Enoch whether he was going to do it with fire or whether he was going to do it with water. But he told Enoch, I'm going to use one of those 2. I don't know which one yet. Enoch collected all the information, all the known masonry, the light, the knowledge that existed at that time. Built a vault in the earth. Come on now, ain't I got some raw light masons out there? Raw light masons out there? He dug 9 arches, a vault, 9 arches, or layers down into the earth. And on a triangular platform, he deposited a whole lot of information for it. In particular, the name, God's name. Covered it back up. This was Mount Moriah. Yeah, when they built the first temple, it got destroyed, and when they built the second one, it got destroyed. But Jesus Christ gonna come back and land there. How about that? But he built 2 pillars. Enoch he did. One pillar was built to withstand fire. One pillar was built to withstand water. So if he used fire, the pillar for water would remain. If he used water, then the pillar for fire would remain. In these pillars, Enoch deposited of the information we call Masonry. Now, you know the story. God went ahead and destroyed that earth. This has been proven through archaeological study. this has been proven even by NASA from satellite video from above. He destroyed it with water. You know what happened? Noah was a Mason. Build an ark, put your family in there. And out of all the people on that first earth, only 8, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people survived. Only 8. Noah was a Mason. When Noah survived the flood, come out of the ark, and man, God told him how to live. I want you to go read that and you find out about capital punishment. And you find out about when God gave man the right to kill animals and eat them. You find out many things. All that's in Genesis between chapters 1 through 11. It's all there. Now, you know, Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Y'all got to know that. If you don't, go read it. They were eventually made Masons by Noah. How do you know that? How many Masons does it take to open a lodge of Master Masons? All right. Long story short, Noah's great-grandson, not his grandson, Noah's great-grandson, born to the Cush, who was the son of Ham, the black, was Nimrod. Nimrod. Noah taught him Mason. Father taught him Mason. Grandfather taught him Mason. And of course, great-grandfather Noah taught him Mason. And most of all, God sent angels to teach him Mason. Nimrod, the Bible said, became a mighty hunter before the Lord. So that it is said, be like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. Now, here's what I want to get to that's controversial, and we're going to get ready to close up. Noah began to build the Tower of Babel. Noah's mission was to try to get man back to heaven, back to God, at least back to the Garden of Eden. But did you know the whole world gives Nimrod a bad rap? The whole world tell you, number 1, the Tower of Babel was evil. Number 2, Noah was evil. Nimrod was evil. That's a lie. Read the book you kissed. Read the book you took your obligations on. I'm here to tell you right now, like I said, I don't care if it makes you mad or not, but the one person who did the most to spread lies about Nimrod was the traitor, the turncoat, the rat, Flavius Josephus, who wrote commentaries called the Jewish Antiquities. In those antiquities which he wrote in the 1st century AD, the first 100 years after the death of Christ, the death of Christ, he wrote a book, 2 actually. He wrote he chronicled the Jewish wars, and his big claim to fame was he wrote the Antiquities. He took it upon himself to write history. And because the Jewish people have kept better records, I got to get to them, you do too. They kept better records than any other people on earth, and still did. In his writings alone, Google him up. This man pronounced Nimrod evil. This man pronounced the Tower of Babel evil, and on it went. And the whole world took the writings of Flavius Josephus to be credible. And that's how Nimrod reputation has been smeared so very, very bad. But see, Masons, we all know the truth. Instructive tongue, tended record, positively faithful press. Now, what happened was, when Nimrod began to build the Tower of Babel, Dr. James Anderson, 1717 boy, and of course Mr. Albert G. Mackey, the greatest historian, will pick it up from right there. They will tell you Nimrod is the first Grand Master of Masonry. He's a black man. They will tell you that he is the first one who issued charters. They will tell you he is the first one that issued rules and regulations for the assemblage and assembly of Masons. They'll tell you it is undisputed. But then they'll jump on it with Nimrod, with Josephus there, and he's a bad guy. Would it shock y'all to know that old Masons, up until about the 15th, 16th century, did you know old Masons and old rituals told the story of the Tower of Babel and Grandmaster Nimrod? Instead of King Solomon in the temple? That mess, King Solomon, being our first most excellent Grand Master, is a lie. And their own writers will tell you that. Jewish writers will tell you that. It's undisputed. But that is the black Mason's story. You don't write, fellas. Why should they tell your story fake? So now to the black brothers out there, the black Masons out there now, who are starting to write, come on out of Egypt, where black people go back a hell of a lot further than Egypt. The Sumerians, the Achaemenid, man, we go all the way back. Get the whole story. Because what you find in Egypt that you write about, that you guys are so happy about, ain't nothing but the ancient mysteries, and they ain't nothing but Satan's device to copy pure ancient craft masonry, to confuse you. You see, when Satan found out that Masons existed after Noah's flood, he was flabbergasted. He didn't know what to do. But he knew he wasn't going to be able to stop Masonry. So what's the next thing he did? He tried to create a copy of pure ancient craft masonry. And guess what he called it? The Ancient Mysteries. And you boys have studied enough about Egypt. I know dadgum well, you know, that the oldest of all ancient mysteries started in Africa with the mysteries of Isis and Osiris. The ancient mysteries even carry signs and grips so very close to masonry you'd be surprised. And the principles and things taught in the ancient mystery are identical to ancient craft masonry. The only thing that separates the ancient mysteries from pure ancient craft masonry is Jesus Christ. 33rd degree Freemason, and redemption and salvation through his apron and blood. What am I saying? I'm saying that the ancient mysteries, whether found in Egypt or Greece or Rome or wherever, they taught that man of his own effort could evolve into a position where he would again be one with God. You're looking at it today in 2015. How far have we evolved, brothers? You're looking at it in 2015, and if you be honest with me, when we look at masonry today among us, you're fighting each other like you've gone crazy over that organizational side of things, which ain't nothing but chaos and confusion. The devil will get in a lodge, you get in this so-called grand lodges, and the next thing you know, we don't get nothing done. While at the same time, these young boys out here, they need to see a man, they need to see a Mason. Say that's from a Christian wing. So, what I'm challenging you to do, go and check with Matt, go and check with Dr. Anderson, go and check with their first Grandmaster up to 1717, Dr. Sage, go on. They'll all tell you. They won't lie. They'll tell you that the first Grandmaster on this earth after Noah's flood was Nimrod, a black man, son of Cush, son of Ham. Noah's great-grandson. All races came from Ham, Sam, from Ham, Shem, and Japheth. We're all cousins, folk. Plagueis Josephus started the lies and the rumor that Nimrod was not a good man. I want you to go check it out. And when you check it out, while you're checking it out, I want you to understand that Solomon may or may not have been a grand master, but he damn sure wasn't the first one. What Nimrod did was not bad. If it was, God would have destroyed him. Go and read very, very carefully what God did. God had a reason. He wanted Masonry to spread. He did it with the first century Christian church when he allowed it to be persecuted under Herod now after the death and resurrection of Jesus. Persecution led them to spread so that they could spread the gospel. And the ancient mystery, that's Satan's toy. That's his copy of pure ancient craft masonry. Now, fellas, I'm going to shut it down by giving you just a little bit more information here in regards to the Knights Templar and that, I love it too, that ancient Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine. I am a Knights Templar, love it to death, because I have received Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Read my lips, as President Bush said that time. Knights Templarism has nothing to do with Freemasonry. There is no connection whatsoever. Our cousins again, when they come up with this revival in 1717, they use the Templar legacy. Templar didn't live, the whole organization didn't exist for 200 years before the same church, Catholic Church, that made them destroyed them because they started making too much money. Philip of France wanted it, and Clement, the Pope wanted it as well. But the Pope, the Templars got too powerful. And Philip V, he owed them too much money. The Knights Templars has nothing, period, to do with Freemasonry. That's the spin-off from 1717. They call it the Christian arm of Masonry. You know, I had to go all the way up, become a Knights Templar, and begin research, find out, and go, dang, this ain't Masonry. And it's not, Jim. Go read it carefully. I told you this here lecture was going to be controversial and confrontational. I told you that we needed that common ground of brothers that had kissed that Bible, took the obligation on that Bible, and we would go from there. Everything that I've told you that I could tell you came from the Bible. I still ain't told you nothing of the oral tradition. Go check out Nimrod. Go check out Enoch. Go check out Seth. Go check out Adam and Eve and the real Paul. Go look up the cherubims and the cherubims, the principles, the principalities, the power, the thrones, the dominion, the archangels and the angels. Go look and see did or did not men that connection of being able to talk to God again. You call it prayer. Did it or did it not start with Seth, the first Mason made, and was made by 9 archangels. And from there, Masonry spread. It was preserved, 9 vaults down by Enoch, the place marked with 2 pillars to withstand the destruction of the first earth. And then those of you that come from the law of the Holy St. John, go read Revelation and find out that God going to destroy this earth right here with fire. All right now. Excuse me, y'all, weather's changing out here where I'm at. Now, ancient Arabic order, nobles of the mystic shrine, never, ever, ever, ever had nothing to do with masonry. When it came to America, it was given to a black man. John G. Jones, undisputed, was the only guy over here that the brothers, those Arab guys, came over and gave a charge to open temples of the shrine. It's all right, Jim, this is the open information if you go get it, if you quit letting people tell you, and I'm going to shut down right there. It's been my point to make this lecture what it is, and I want to say this point. Nobody ever answered my question, who owns masonry? Took a lot of Christians, took a lot of hits, but nobody came up with the simple answer. Masonry belongs to God. There's no Grandmaster, there's no Grand Lodge, there's no jurisdiction, there's no lodge, there's no worshipful master that owns masonry. If you took the obligations to become a Mason, you swore that obligation to the Supreme Architect of the Universe alone. Y'all hear me? And for whoever's out there running around, still running around with the archaic mindset that because people ain't in your jurisdiction, or they're not in your jurisdiction, or they're not a part of your temple, or they're not a part of your temple, they ain't Masons. Y'all need to quit that crap. You got other segments of the population today, 2015, that's coming in Mason organizational masonry on the backside. They taking over while y'all sitting up here arguing with each other about 3 level and 4 level. I'm talking about people of different persuasions, so to speak. They're already setting up temples and different things like that. We need to come together, even on the organization side, and band together as brothers so that we can protect Masonry from the onslaught ahead. Which brings me to you. I'm angry with y'all. Which brings me to whoever y'all is that's supposed to be Sovereign Grand Inspector General 33rd degree Mason. Why the hell are y'all at? What are you doing? Just holding these conventions and charging everybody money, going out buying them high-priced ass collars? You're supposed to be inspecting masonry. You're supposed to be inspecting, correcting, and not letting masonry die. Where you at? I'm angry with you. I'm angry with you. I'm so angry with you that I've written a book. The title of my book, through the foundation, institution, the Institute of Christian and Masonic Study, I've written a book entitled, write this down, Inspecting 33rd Degree Freemasons. I've written it in conjunction with my son, Leroy Stewart Jr., who is Sovereign Grand Inspector General 33rd Degree, and Knights Templars. I'm very angry with you all who call yourself 33rd degrees. It's all I've ever seen you do. You're having these fancy conventions, and now you got Eastern stars hanging all around you. Come on. You're charging these fellas all this different money and stuff to bring them up to these different degrees. You get them up there, you don't know nothing, you ain't teaching them nothing, you ain't got nothing going on but a fraternity of ignorance. And if you're 33rd, you know every word I said today was true. Pure ancient craft masonry. Masonry is the science of God, man, and the universe. A mason is a man who is learned and skilled in the science of God, man, and the universe. Now my publisher, my book right now is finished. The manuscript is done. What we are actively doing through the Institute now, we are engaging publishers. And we're going to get this out here just as fast as we can get a publisher to get it out there too. The title of the book is Inspecting 33rd Degree Freemasons. And now let me say this again before we sign off. If you didn't kiss the Bible, getting them degrees, if you didn't take your obligation on the Holy Bible, don't call my institute talking crazy. We ain't got nothing in common. We never will have nothing in common. Because you don't believe the Bible, then you know damn well you ain't going to believe nothing I got to say. But now if I got some brothers out there who did take their obligation to God over the Holy Bible, if I got some Masons out here viewing this lecture today who did kiss the Holy Bible for every degree, you got legitimate questions, contact the Institute of Christian and Masonic Study. My son and CEO Leroy Stewart Sr. will have attending information. We're active on all social media, so check us out. I stand by everything that I've told you. I ain't stole a word from nobody, like the Apostle Paul. Jesus gave it to me. And just like Paul told the Galatians, if anybody preach anything, man or angels, other than what I preach, let it be cursed. I don't say the same thing. If anybody in the 33rd degree tell you what I ain't telling you, they'll go to hell. I got a book coming for you. You can't hide no more in the 33rd degree. You know what? It's time for y'all to either be what you is or you ain't. Don't let Masonry die, and it's dying right now because all these squabbles over here with these 2 letters, 3 letters, 4 letters, 5 letters, whatever y'all is. You need to go and just be a Mason, a man learned and skilled in the science of God, man, and the universe. Now I'm going to close today's lecture. Again, I'm Reverend Leroy Stewart Sr., President of the Institute of Christian and Masonic Study. My book we have to have out just as soon as we can get it published, so that I can get it out here for us. Our advertising manager is on standby, so like anything else, we're trying to find the best publisher available to get it done. I want it out there and I want you to read it. Everybody, especially you lower degree guys, you need to be reading about what these 33rd degree Masons are supposed to know and supposed to be teaching you. All right, now, as you can see, I'm a little upset. But that's the way it is now, so until I speak with you next time, Reverend Leroy Stewart Sr., Institute of Christian and Masonic Study. My son will have information as to how to contact us with positive input following the tape. So till next time, how do Masons meet? How do Masons act? And how do they talk? Good night.